Hello my dear students, here I came back with my second video, but before going in this video, if you have not seen my first video which already we have published in our channel Nirja Education, please go through that and also like, share and subscribe our channel Nirja Education. Okay. So, in this video we are going to discuss two main theorem of your first chapter from real numbers. Okay. First topic to be discussed is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Before going in this theorem, fundamental theorem of arithmetic, let's discuss about prime numbers. I know you already are knowing what are prime numbers, right? But I am going to give a small recap about prime numbers. Okay. So, here I am starting with a least counting number which is 1. 1 is neither prime number nor composite number, you can say 1 as a unique number, right. After 1 it comes 2, but if I want to express this 2 as a product of its two multiple which are smaller than that, it is not possible. After 2, let us move forward, after 2 it comes 3. If I want to express 3 as a product of prime multiples which are smaller than this 3, it is also not possible. After 3 it comes 4. In the case of 4, I can write this 4 as a product of two integers and yes, they are smaller than the 4. After 4 it comes 5. 5 also we cannot express. After 5 it is 6. 6 I can write as 2 multiplied by 3. After 6 it is 7. 7 also we cannot express the 7 as a product of two multiples which is smaller than that. Okay. After 7 it comes 8. 8 I can express as a product of two integers 2 multiplied by 4. If I am going to do this extend again, I can write 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. So, here one thing that we need to notice is that in the case of 2, 3, 5 and 7, these numbers we cannot express as a product of prime numbers. But in the case of 4, 6, 8, 9 also 10 and many other, we can express this number as a product of its prime factors. So, these numbers you can call as composite number and 2, 3, 5, 7 we can call as prime number. So, as you have seen, every composite number we can express as a product of its prime. So, fundamental theorem of arithmetic is nothing but every composite number can be expressed as a product of its prime and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. Let us see this fundamental theorem of arithmetic by one example. Here I am taking one composite number which is 30, right? 30 is composite number, yes? Okay. Okay. If I am going to do the factorization of 30, it can be 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. This is the prime factorization of one composite number which is 30. If I am going to rewrite this factorization, it can be written as 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5. If again I am trying, I can write like 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 3. So, this factorization is unique. That means 2, this 3, this 5, these factors are not going to change, but order in which the factors occur, that can be changed. So, in general, if I am going to write the general form of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, in general, we can write like this: x is equal to p1 multiplied by p2 multiplied by p3 and up to multiplied by pn, where x is a composite number, p1, p2, p3 and so on up to pn. These all are the prime factorization of composite number x. So, once again, if I am going to state what is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic? Fundamental theorem of arithmetic stated that every composite number can be written as a product of its prime numbers. Let's solve one example on the basis of this theorem. Okay, let's solve this example on the basis of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Do the prime factorization of 210 and 385. Here two positive integers are given, 210 and 385. In my previous video also I have explained how to do the prime factorization. Once again we are going to see. Okay, so which is the least prime number? Yes, you are right, it is 2. So 210 can be divisible by 2? Yes, let's do so. Here it comes 105. 105, the least prime number by which we can divide 105 is 3. It comes 35. 5 sevens are 35 and 7 is a prime number. So we have to end our sum by this, because after prime number there not can be any more factors of the number. After 210, let's move towards 385. The least prime number by which 385 we can divide is 5. And if I am doing so, I am getting 77. 77 can be divided by 7, 11, and 11 is a prime number. So we are going to conclude our this sum over here. So I got the prime factorization of 210, 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 7. Here I got 5 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 11. So my dear students, this way you can find the prime factorization of any integer. So your next and very important method from this topic is how to find HCF and LCM of two or more integers by using prime factorization method. Let's see this by one example. Find HCF and LCM of 24 and 36. If you want to find HCF and LCM of any positive integer by this method, first step you need to follow is you have to find the prime factors of the given integers. Here we have given 24 and 36. So first task we need to do is we need to find the prime factors of 24 and 36. And here I am going to do find the prime factor of 24. Now you all are knowing how to do the prime factorization, right? So let's do it quickly. 2 6 are 12, 2 3 are 6, 3 1 are 1. Now it's done for 36. If I am going to do so, let's start with 2, 18 to the 36, 9 are 3 3 are 3 1 are 1. So here I have find the prime factors of 24 and 36. Now I am going to list the prime factor of 24 and 36. So I can list 24 is equal to 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. That means 3 times 2. So we can write 3 times 2 as a 2 to the power 3 multiplied by 3. Now next I am going to list the prime factors of 36. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. 2 multiplied by 2 we can write as a 2 to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 to the power 2. Okay. So if you want to find the HCF of two integers, you have to find the product of the smallest power of each common prime factor. Underline this word common. Here you have to do the product of prime factors, but only those prime factors who all are common. Here it is 2, here 2. That means 2 is common and 3 is also common. So let's find the smallest power now. Smallest power of 2 is 2 and smallest power of 3 is obviously 1. So if I am getting the answer 2 multiplied by 2 4 is 12. Now it's turn for LCM. How to find the LCM? if you want to list the LCM, if you want to find the LCM, you need to do the product of the greatest power of each prime factor. While we have talked about HCF, you have to list only common prime factors, but here it is each prime factor. So whatever the factors you have got in your prime factorization, every prime factor you need to consider for only LCM, and for HCM you need to consider only common prime factors. So these things you have to add in your mind. Let's do so. What is the greatest power of 2 first? 3. And what is the greatest power of 2? It is 3 raised to 2. 2 raised to 3 is 8, multiply by 9. It is 72. So I hope now you have understand how to find the HCF and LCM of 2 or more positive integers by using the prime factorization method. First step that you need to follow is, first you have to find the prime factors, and second, by applying this both sentences you are able to find the HCF and LCM of given numbers. So from this example we can conclude like this: for any two positive integers a and b, if I am going to multiply the HCF and LCM of both the integer, then it will be equal to the product of that two integers. Just now we have seen one example, we have taken two integers which was 24 and 36, we got HCF for that, we got LCM also for that. So here I am giving you one task, whatever the HCF we got, LCM we got, multiply this two and let's see that the product of LCM and HCF is equal to that two integer 24 and 36 or not. So I hope you understand this. Thank you. We'll see you in next class.